Like if you've seen an adult running, typically if they're not wearing like an
Yeah,
iPod, you think something's wrong. Like you want to run too. Like, oh shit, there's an
actually,
attack,
yeah.
right? You see a kid running, it's just like, oh, crazy kids.
I'm forming my own cloud here.
How can we reach more people to do more exercise? Because here in Spain, the numbers are at, if I'm not mistaken, 60% of the Spanish population only do practice sport. So we have
Hmm.
40% of potential clients, if I may.
Right. So how do we get more people engaged in exercise and sport? Is that
Yeah,
the question? Yeah, that's a tough one, man. I think personally that well, so here's the thing. I came up in the bodybuilding and powerlifting community, like so the kind of the natural state is that we take a lot of pride in the fact that we push ourselves really hard, we enjoy the struggle, and if there's any badge of honor that you can have as a bodybuilder, it's not necessarily how big you are, how strong you are. You'll get respect at a powerlifting meet or a bodybuilding show if you worked your ass off. So it's like this celebration of hard work, and sometimes solitary hard work that doesn't pay off as much as the work you put in. So in essence, the value is the effort. Um, Now the thing is there's actually research on this. There was a recent study that came out that was looking at why do some people do high intensity exercise by choice and others do not, and if they exercise, it'll be at a lower intensity. And the findings were very simple. Again, like I was saying with science, it doesn't need to be complicated. People who do high intensity exercise like high intensity exercise. So I think the idea that we're celebrating this hard work and that we're forcing ourselves to go on this solitary journey of hardship, it's more like, yeah, it's hard work. It's objectively harder physiologically, but we enjoy it more. So I try to remind myself as a trainer or as a science communicator or as a researcher that when I'm speaking to someone who is your average person out there who has been struggling to adopt a lifestyle of fitness or be engaged in sport, that they don't like it. The things that I like, they don't. I'm the weird one, right? That I eat less than I want. I and I push myself to the point of exertion or sometimes injury, and all of that together, I enjoy. So yeah, of course, people are going to be playing video games, watching TV, and going on cruises because they enjoy that. I enjoy that too, but I am willing to make sacrifices because I enjoy my training just as much, but they don't. So the trick is to figure out what do people enjoy. And I think if we look to some of the more successful things that catch on with fitness and actually stick, that are still effective, they bring some element of play, variety, camaraderie, community, social support, and enjoyment. For example, CrossFit. Say what you will about the potential injury risk or if it's done poorly. I think the fact that they've created community, that they have a lot of variety, and that they have workouts of the day, and it gives you a lot of different options at different levels of your fitness, or things like the dance forms of exercise that are out there. People like to dance and they don't realize they're training. People like to play sports. I think sports are typically more effective than general fitness. I would love it if everybody did, resistance training, because I think it's probably one of the most healthy, covering multiple physiological beneficial realms type of exercise. But if someone doesn't like lifting, they're not going to start lifting. So I think trainers and fitness professionals need to try to connect with what their clients enjoy, and they need to expose them to more types of exercise and more opportunities for them to find something they like, and to present it not necessarily just as purely as play, but to add elements of this should be fun. Let's reconnect with what you like to do physically as a kid. Like, I remember being a kid and I wasn't a huge fitness nerd as a kid. I just didn't see the point in walking. Like it's slower. why don't I run everywhere? And that's most kids. They're running around all the time. So I think trying to rekindle some of that and find a space and a time where we're going against the social conditioning of you're not supposed to run. Like if you see an adult running, you know, typically if they're not wearing like an iPod, you think something's wrong. Like you want to run too. Like, oh shit, there's an attack, you know, right? You see a kid running, it's just like, oh, crazy kids, you know. So I think we need to utilize the gym as a space to allow ourselves to be kids again for the general populace if we want them to be engaged in fitness.
So basically, be the cool teacher you always like. That's cool.
Well said. Yep. That the PE teacher who is not a hard ass, but the one who encouraged everyone to try things, did things outside of the box, and exactly got you engaged and made it fun.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense at the end.